channel. It is Vlogmas. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 books that I gave 5 stars. I recently just made a video of my December TBR list, so I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in knowing what I'll be reading this December. But in this video, I want to talk about the 5 books that literally changed my life. Well, I don't want to say, that sounds a little bit dramatic. It's books that I'm definitely always going to remember. So I just started my reading journey in June, this past summer. I shared about this new journey, this new hobby of mine on my Instagram at @Ashtristeen. I also made a Bookstagram. If you guys want to follow that, it's at Moms and Noble, kind of like Barnes and Noble, but it's Moms and Noble, to encourage moms to read more and to escape reality, because motherhood is crazy and these kids be crazy. And sometimes we just need a break from reality and just read about other people's lives. And it's just so much better. So my whole reading journey started by just taking the kids to the library this summer. School ended and I'm just like, okay, like my daughter needs more help with reading. I'm like, let's just go to the library and find a book that you want to read. So while we were there, they were playing and they were looking at books, but I was like, you know what, let me get a book for myself. I've been talking about how I want to read more. I was never a reader in my entire life, like at all. If you want to count in high school, I did read a couple Zane books. If you know, you know. I should not have been reading those books. And I don't know how I even had access to those books. I can't remember. But I did read a couple of those books in high school. But after that, like in college, like I was just not a reader. I just couldn't get into it. But when I was in the library, I've always like screenshotted like other influencers of what books they were reading. So I always like screenshotted books like, oh, I should read that. Oh, I should read that because they said it was good, whatever. So during that library visit, I did pick up my first book that I ever read. I can't say ever read, but you know. It was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. And that book literally started this reading journey. And I was like, wow, you know what? This is actually really good. It's so sweet. I love the characters. Like, that book really started my reading journey, and I have to say that Abby Jimenez is my favorite author so far from all the books that I've read. Really love her books. I'm still in the process of reading her entire series. She has about, I think, like six and a half books out, and then her new one is coming out next year, so I already pre-ordered that. Yes, I'm on it. But yeah, ever since then, so since June, and here we are in December. How many books have I read? Gotta go on my Goodreads. I'll link my Goodreads down below. I make a review for every single book I read. 24 books. And my first goal when I first started reading, I was like, you know what, let me at least read 5 books from June to December. But here I am, 24 books I've read so far. And there's no stopping me, like I'm addicted. So since these past few months, I want to share with you 5 books that I really love, and I hope you guys will read too, because I really like it. So these books, in no particular order, I'm just going with the flow, so because I have some physical copies and some of them I listen to. So first book, let's start with Abby. Let's start with Abby girl, okay? So this is Just for the Summer. So this is part of her Part of Your World series. So the first book is Part of Your World, the second one is Yours Truly, and then it's Just for the Summer. Then she's coming out with the 4th one next year. So I read Part of Your World, Yours Truly, really love those two. But I have to say, Just for the Summer was probably my favorite out of that series. Just so good, and it's so many pages. I can't believe I read this. I just love physical copies because I'm like, wow, I did that. Girl. When it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up, but it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. His name is Justin, and his Reddit thread about being love's good luck charm has gone viral. Now the two have come up with a plan. If they date each other, their curses will cancel out and they'll go on to find their soulmate. Only Justin wasn't supposed to be so unbelievably cute and hilarious, and when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, including catching real feelings. How fate finally brought the perfect pair together, or will their cure be way more hazardous than the curse itself? Love it. And then Justin, dream boyfriend. He thought of everything. That was just like, oh my god, that is so freaking cute. Like, if anything, guys need to start reading these romance books so they can get ideas to swoon their girls, because like the stuff he was doing in here, I was just like, that's so cute. That's so cute. This is such a good book, such a loving story. I just love the characters, the banter. I just love the realness in it too. I feel like it really talks about like mental health in it, and it just doesn't seem like fake. It's not like a, you know, one of those Hallmark movies or whatever. Like it's real. But I have to say, Abby Jimenez books, they're considered as standalones, you know, so you can read it in any order, but I do appreciate it more if you read it in order. Second book, 5 stars that I gave, is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. So I actually borrowed this from the library, but I found this at Goodwill, so I was so excited to get a physical copy so I could add to my library. Don't sleep on Goodwill. This book was 99 cents. All their paperbacks are 99 cents, and I was like, add to cart. This was my first mystery book. I'm all about romance, love romance books. So I was like, let me do something different. Let me do a mystery. This is not a thriller, it's a mystery, but it's also a comedy. It is so funny. This is about a single mom. She's also a author, and she's struggling. She just had a divorce. She's dealing with her kids. Like, even from the first page, like, I was just like, this is funny because it's so relatable. Like, talk about her kids, they're going crazy. The kid cut her hair, you know, like, it's just a lot going on, like how chaotic motherhood is, especially in the morning when you're just trying to get out the door, trying to go to a meeting, things like that. Like, from the first page, I was just like, I like this girl. When Finlay is over her discussing the plot of her new suspense novel with her agent over lunch, she's mistaken for a contract killer and accepts an offer to dispose of a problem husband. Finlay soon discovers that crime in real life is a lot more difficult than its fictional counterpart as she becomes tangled in a murder investigation. That's all I'm gonna read. Just read it. It is so funny. I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Like, especially towards the end, I was like, and then the last part, literally the last sentence of this book, I was like, where's book 2? Where's book 2? So in this Finlay Donovan series, there is 5 books, I believe, which she also has El Casimano, that's how you say it, El Casimano, that's the author. She has her newest one is coming out next year as well, 2025. And I think it's called Finlay Donovan Digs Her Grave or something like that it's called. So I read book 1, book 2 I read, book 3, and there's a book 3.5. And then there's book 4, which I still did not read. I'm gonna have to work on that before the new book comes out. I read book 1, and then all the other ones I listened to on Libby, so definitely check that out. So definitely go on Libby. If you're not familiar with Libby, it's basically you just connect it to your library card and you can borrow audiobooks, you can borrow Kindle versions of the book. So it's basically like borrowing from the library, and it's so great because you don't have to pay for it because it's free. But I have to say, sometimes like the holds for popular books are ridiculous. I connected, like I just moved here to North Carolina, so I connected this new library card, plus I'm still connected to my Virginia library card, and then I also have my best friend's card, her New York library card. So you can connect multiple library cards. So if you have friends in other states, just ask for a library card number, and then you guys kind of like connect it. So sometimes like if it was available in New York, and then my friend has all these other holds, so like I can't put a hold because, you know, she already took all the holds and stuff like that. So you just gotta work it out, but highly recommend getting Libby. Third book, Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Am I saying that right? I don't know. But look how cute this cover is. I've heard so many great things about this book, and I was just like, you know what? I need it. I want it. So I started it, and it is about a hot one-night stand. And that one-night stand, literally within like a couple pages, and I'm just like, dang, already? They went straight to it. One night stand, and what happens? She get pregnant. So now here she is. She's like, I gotta tell this man I'm pregnant, and it was a one night stand. But what I really love about this book is the representation for like disabilities. So the female main character, Wynn, she has, I don't know what it's really called. I don't want to say it has a limb difference. So like she doesn't have like a full hand. I think she calls it her small hand. And then for Beau, he has a prosthetic leg. So, you know, they were like naturally drawn to each other, and, you know, they respected each other. They didn't make each other feel different or put each other down or anything like that. Like, they really saw each other because of their differences. And I believe in the beginning, like for the author's note before the book started, I think the author also has like a little hand too, I believe I read. I think that's how it was her inspiration to write this book. And just her love story is just so freaking cute. So I started reading the physical copy, but then I got the audiobook on Libby just because I am a slow reader and I just really want to get to it. You know, I really wanted to know what was going to happen. I wanted their love to just expand faster for me. I wanted it faster and my eyes couldn't do it fast enough. So I was like, I need to listen to it. So luckily it was available. So I finished it on Libby. Whoever the narrator was, she did a really good job. But yeah, I really love this book. So definitely pick this up. This is so cute. And what I also noticed about this book though, the audiobook ended after the epilogue. So then I was looking at the book, you know, just looking at the end, and then there's like an extra chapter in the physical book that the audiobook didn't say. So it's like, you know, it's like a little secret chapter, you know, to keep on reading about them. All right, other books. Let me go on my Goodreads and look at my other 5-star books. I want to buy more books. I want to get physical copies of my favorite books, but books are expensive. So I need to wait and like figure out when I'm going to get these books. All right, so my other 5-star book is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Now, I'm still new to Colleen Hoover. I actually bought It Ends With Us years ago when I first said I was like, I want to read more. It was probably like 3 years ago I bought It Ends With Us, and I never finished it. I still to this day never finished it. It's sitting on my bookshelf right here. I still never finished it. Everyone always talks about how great she is, but how problematic she is and things like that. So I decided to read Reminders of Him. So it is on Kindle Unlimited and also has like the audiobook with it. So I listened to it. And let me tell you, that audiobook of Reminders of Him, just listen to it. I think it is so much better if you listen to that book than reading it. Because my friend, I don't know, when she first started her reading journey, she just started too because I kind of influenced her. So she's only been reading Colleen Hoover. So she started with It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us and stuff like that. And I told her I really like Reminders of Him. And she was like, oh, it was okay. It was cool, you know. But I feel like listening to somebody express their emotions, like listening to the hurt and the emotions, like you just feel it more. So I feel like if you're going to do Reminders of Him, listen to it instead of reading it, because it's just like, wow, it was really, really good. And I also like that it had 2 narrators. So it actually had like the female narrator and the male narrator, because my first audiobook was not the best experience, because, you know, usually like a female would like be the narrator, but then she's like talking as a guy, you know, like, so that kind of like threw me off. Eventually I got used to it. But I really like the Reminders of Him has like the male and the female one, and it just makes that whole story so much better. So Reminders of Him, let me see if I could read the synopsis. Okay, a troubled young mother yearns for a shot at redemption in this heartbreaking yet hopeful story. After serving 5 years in prison for a tragic mistake, Kenna Rowan returns to the town where all went wrong, hoping to reunite with her 4-year-old daughter. But the bridges Kenna burned are proven impossible to rebuild. Everyone in her daughter's life is determined to shut Kenna out, no matter how hard she works to prove herself. The only person who hasn't closed the door on her completely is Ledger Ward, a local bar owner and one of the few remaining links to Kenna's daughter. But if anyone were to discover how Ledger is slowly becoming an important part of Kenna's life, both would risk losing the trust of everyone important to them. The two form a connection despite the pressure surrounding them, but as their romance grows, so does the risk. Kenna must find a way to absolve the mistakes of her past in order to build a future out of hope and healing. This book actually made me cry. I actually teared up and I was just like, man. And then my last 5-star, wait, hold on, am I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to do 5 books only. I feel like I have a lot of 5 stars if you look on my Goodreads, but I'm gonna choose this one. My last 5-star is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez again. So The Friend Zone is actually her first book ever. So that whole series starts with The Friend Zone, then is the Happy Ever playlist, and then is Life's Too Short. So that was like her first 3 connection, and then that's when she started with the Part of Your World and all the other stuff. So since I really loved her whole second collection with the Part of Your World series, I was like, let me go back. Since it's on Kindle Unlimited, let me start with The Friend Zone. Now let me say, The Friend Zone, it was really cute, you know? I really liked it in the beginning, you know, it was kind of predictable a little bit, and I was like just reading it, you know? It wasn't like my go-to book in the beginning, you know? I was just like, you know, I'll just read it whenever I want to. I was really into other books. But then eventually it starts to like really pick up. And then mid book or towards the end, 75% of the book maybe, I was like crying. I'm like, what is wrong with you, Abby? Why would you do this to me? Crying. I was like literally heartbroken while I was reading this book in the car, and I was just like, wow, she knows how to flip the damn switch. Kristen doesn't do drama, will fight to the death for her friends, and has no room in her life for guys who just don't get her. She's also keeping a big secret, facing a medically necessary procedure that will make it impossible for her to have children. Planning her best friend's wedding is bittersweet for Kristen, especially when she meets the best man, Josh. He's funny, sexy, never offended by her wide streak of sarcasm, and always one chicken enchilada ahead of her hangry. Even her dog stuntman Mike adores him. The only catch, Josh wants a big family someday. Kristen knows he'd be better off with someone else, but as their attraction grows, it's harder and harder to keep him at arm's length. The friend zone will have you laughing one moment and grabbing for tissues the next, as it tackles the realities of infertility and loss. So yeah, if it was up to me, I don't know, I would really start with the friend zone and then just like keep going on and to read on with all of Abby's books. I am currently reading the Happy Ever playlist. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but I'm reading that on Kindle since I finished the friend zone. So I'm, like I said, I'm going backward. Really liking that one because it really does continue from the friend zone. So like, I feel like those books should not be standalones, although they can technically be a standalone. But it makes you appreciate the whole storyline if you read the friend zone and then go to the next one. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a bonus book because I just finished this book literally right before I started hitting record, and it's Archer's Voice. And if I didn't have my makeup done right now, I would have been crying because I just finished listening to it. I listened to it on Libby. I've been, you know, one of my friends talked about like, I asked her like, what book made you cry? Like, I want to cry, you know? And she always talked about Archer's Voice. So it is a pretty long one. I think it was like 11 hours, but I guess I finished it within less than a week because I just listened to it on 2 times fast. But it's such a good book, and I'm just like, wow, like this is definitely a story I'm going to remember. So let me go back to the synopsis so I can tell you guys. So Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. When Bree arrives in the sleepy lakeside town of Maine, she hopes against hope that this is the place where she will finally find the peace she so desperately seeks. On her first day there, her life collides with Archer Hale, an isolated man who holds a secret agony of his own, a man no one else sees. Archer's Voice is the story of a woman chained to the memory of one horrifying night and the man whose love is the key to her freedom. It is the story of a silent man who lives with an excruciating wound and the woman who helps him find his voice. It is the story of suffering, fate, and the transformative power of love. That is definitely what it's about. This book talks about like PTSD, talks about trauma, and then it just talks about love and just like to be seen. That book should definitely be a movie. I even Googled it because sometimes, you know, you read a book, like I kind of go blindly and I'm like, how is this not a movie? Like Archer's Voice should definitely be a movie. And I think this book is a little old. Like I said, it came out in 2016. Like how is that book not a movie? Just read it. Just read it. You know what? Listen to it. I say listen to it. And this book also has the two narrators. It also still has like the female narrator and the male narrator, which I love. I love when they do that. It just makes it so much better. Although it's kind of funny when it's the male point of view and he's talking, but then he like talks as the female during that chapter, like, oh no, why did you do that? So it is a lot to get used to if you're new to the audiobook world. Definitely something to get used to. So yeah, those are my 5, really 6 5-star books that I've read so far since June. Can't wait to continue reading more books. Like this new journey makes me so happy. I'm actually currently reading The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and so far like I'm really liking it as well. I hope it continues to being good. I feel like so far I'm giving it like a 4, so I don't know, if it keeps going on it might be a 5, you know. I guess I'm a little too generous when it comes to reading books, but that's not true though, because I did DNF some books lately, okay? So I did. But anyways, follow my Goodreads. I'll link it down below. Like I said, I write reviews for every book. Comment down below some books that you read that are 5 stars for you and why you love it so much. What books have transformed you? What are the characters that changed your life that you think about every day, although they're not real people? What books you believe that should be movies? Because these books, they should definitely be movies. I just don't understand how they're not movies. Let me know if you read any of these books. What are your thoughts? Am I too generous with my 5 stars? Because these books I really like. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe because it's Vlogmas. And we're posting these videos every single day for 25 days. Make sure you guys follow my Instagram at @Justine, and you can follow my Bookstagram at Moms and Noble. Let me know if you want more book videos because I love talking about them. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.